sorry. I'll hand over to Anita, the head of our marketing team, to kind of kick us off before we get into our main presentation. Thanks everyone for joining again. Anita, please go ahead.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you once again. Thank you so much for joining us on this Juneteenth special of our Travelbay webinars, the ultimate Detty December guide. Now, you're here because you want to know all things about travel in Africa, specifically Detty December, and how you can partake in this yearly carnival, as you have it, in a safe, smart, and even more meaningful way than what you've probably seen or heard online. For today's agenda, we're going to be giving you insider tips, smart planning strategies, event and accommodation advice, how to avoid common mistakes, as well as tools and resources that you can use to book your trip in a very secure way that will help you have some confidence in it before you make your way over to Africa. For the duration of this call, I will not be actually hosting today's session. We're going to have a very special host join us. This is someone who has spent over 15 years in the travel industry. He's an expert travel curator, passionate about reconnecting people to Africa through travel, and he's actually one of the founding partners here at Travelbay. Thank you so much. Please, let's give a warm virtual welcome to Yoma Onosemuode.
All right, thank you very much. I saw that just one, okay, 2 people, 3 people. Thank you for all of that. I want to thank everybody for making it in here. So of course, I, as you might believe, everyone is hearing me. And if you can, thank you. Just give me a thumbs up. I can hear from wherever you are, whether you are in on the East Coast, the West Coast, or you are in Africa or any other part of the world. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. I'm really excited about this because there has been a lot of buzz when it comes to Detty December. But I'll just start by giving you context. Okay, Detty December as a term, interestingly, a lot of people do not even know where it originated from. Last year during the Detty December, there was a lot of buzz on social media, and there was a bit of spat between some people from Nigeria and some people from Ghana, because they felt, oh, Nigeria, a lot of people visited Nigeria last year, and they were calling Detty December. There was a lot of Detty December experiences, events, and all of that. And then some Ghanaians said, oh, we invented Detty December. That's the term and the entire celebration. And for me, those in Nigeria, some were saying they were not even very well informed about their position. But you know, all of those bans went on social media. Detty December as a term is actually more than 2 decades old. And it did not originate in Accra, Ghana. It didn't originate in Lagos, Nigeria. You have to go down south Nigeria to a place called Calabar. Now, over 20 years ago, the very interesting young governor of Cross River, that's the state where Calabar as a city in southern Nigeria is a part of, had this big dream of making it a tourist destination and invested a lot of billions. Part of the programs they had was to ensure that nobody worked in December, that every December, it was from 1st of December till about 1st of January, it was party all the way. There were celebrations, there were concerts, there were carnivals. So that's where we had the entire concept of Calabar Carnival started. Street carnivals, people traveling from all over the world coming to celebrate. And it was amazing to have that. So it was from there the entire term called Detty December started, and of course moved to Lagos. Of course, by 2019, Ghana had a very elaborate and comprehensive promotion package and program where they welcomed people of African descent, African Americans, to say, come back home. You know, 2019 marked 400 years of when our forefathers, our forebearers were taken out across the world, slavery, that is to say. So it was the year of the return, branded by Ghana. So it's not surprising when you hear a lot of African Americans, a lot of people wanted to come back to Africa to visit, vacation, and all of that, and they say, oh, they are coming to Ghana. So that's actually where the entire brand Detty December blew up globally. So even though it started in Calabar, Nigeria, and then moved to, let's say, Lagos, Nigeria, and Ghana made it like global. Detty December, undoubtedly today, regardless of how it started, has become a brand, a cultural phenomenon. It's become one where everyone that has heard about it wants to be a part of it. And this, I would like to start by saying that Detty December, if there is one place anyone in any part of the world needs to be at the end of every year, it's in West Africa. That's the best place to be in the world at the end of every year. You've had a long year, whatever it is that, but great weather, you want celebration, you want to chill, you want cultural moments, you want tourist attractions, you want to meet people from all over the world. I mean, as diverse as you can think about, from Europe, from North America to South America, within Africa, you want to meet everyone, having a great time, connecting, reconnecting. I mean, networking and all of that. It is West Africa. Detty December is, for me, the biggest party in the world. And we're talking about Ghana, we're talking about Nigeria. Of course, it seeps into places like Togo, Benin, the whole of West Africa. So it's amazing. Now, the major locations are Lagos and Accra. And here you have a lot of concerts, like global massive concerts giving Afrochella vibes. You have the Afrofuture concert in Ghana. You have live sport festival in Nigeria. You literally almost every day of the month of December have a global Afrobeat artist headlining concerts. Is amazing. You meet Hollywood stars. Just, I mean, they're not coming for any performance, just coming to experience all of this. You have people from all over the world, professionals and all. We also have Calabar, like I talked about, the biggest carnival in Africa holds in Calabar. Then we have, of course, Abuja in Nigeria, Kumasi, where you can embrace and engage with the Ashanti culture and all of that. Cape Coast, where our ancestors left, I mean, the final spots where they left, and all of the castles there. Uyo also has a similitude of same experience as Cape Coast. So it's an amazing experience when you talk about Detty December. What goes all around the world is the parties, and that's fine. People hear about the parties. Of course, Afrobeat has this vibe that everyone wants to be a part of, and that's great. But even deeper than that, there are cultural moments. I mean, you have families. A lot of people fix their weddings, their family reunions, things like that for December, and it's them coming from all over to say, hey, come, let's have fun, celebrate. So you might just run into some of the most amazing professionals in your field, entrepreneurs, people you really want to see, maybe huge creators, influencers, and all of that. You can just walk into anybody on the streets of Accra, on the streets of Lagos during Detty December. I guarantee you. So Detty December, it's unbelievable. For me, it is where anybody in the world wants to be at the end of the year. Now, Travelbay has, or let me start this way. Any of us has anybody here, if you've been in any of the cities celebrating Detty December, if you've been around, just give me a thumbs up. Just give us a thumbs up if you've been in any of the cities, whether it's Lagos, Accra, Abuja. Oh, fantastic. We have a few people that have been in some of these cities. If you've never been and you're on this call, just give me your own thumbs up. If you've never been in Accra, Ghana, you've never been in Kumasi, Cape Coast, Ghana, okay, yeah, we'll have a few people that have never been. That's awesome. Fantastic. So we understand first that Detty December is always a memorable experience. So one of the things we've seen on social media is people, I mean, there's this FOMO. Everyone is kind of like, it's like everybody is in Nigeria or everybody is in Ghana. We've had amazing experiences over the last 10 years and more than, curating experiences for people, fixing the best experience, because you want to ensure that if you are spending 1 week, 2 weeks in Nigeria or Ghana or both, we want to ensure that you optimize your experience, that end to end, you do not miss out on anything, because it's possible. We've seen it time and time again. And these are some of the experiences we've had where people visit Nigeria and we meet them in different parts of the world. They are giving us feedback, and we're like, "Did you really visit Nigeria? How come you never visited this location? How come you never had this cultural experience? How come you didn't get to Badagry? Are you serious? You didn't get to Fela Shrine, for example? Oh, you didn't go here, you didn't go there." So for us, we first advise, ensure that with all the energy, because there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of vibe, but importantly, you do not want to miss out on the real experiences, so that you go back having a full end-to-end experience. Also, because there's a lot of interest, you possibly will be exposed to scams. You might possibly be exposed to people who are not, of course, do not have your best interest at heart. Also, because of the energy and there's so much going on, you could overcompensate in just one direction. So you go for a lot of parties, you go for a lot of clubs. We're like, no, like our experience last year was really beautiful. We had guests that came in, and we had cultural days, for example. We had adventure days. And all of these were interspersed with also going out for carnivals, going out for parties, having a full Afrobeat concert experience. So it was a mix of everything. So Detty December is just beyond parties. You also have tours you can do. You also have experiences. You really enjoy Lagos, or you enjoy Accra like a local. And of course, we ensure that you have the best information, places not to go, spots not to go without friends, for example. I mean, once there's a lot of people in any location, you want to be careful. That's just basically it. Nothing much to worry about in that direction. But one of the things we do as Travelbay is to ensure that even before you leave whatever location you are visiting from, whether it's Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, whatever, our stack ensures that you are connected to a local experience provider before you even leave. So before you leave New York, Boston, California, London, wherever you're coming from, you already know who's picking you at the airport. You are clear about who your local tour guide. So that just helps safety, and then your transportation is fixed. We ensure that the entire 360-degree experience is sorted out before you leave. So this, for example, just to give you a sample of how we curate the experiences. This is for our Detty December experience this Christmas. So if you look at my screen, it just gives you a breakdown, 7-day, more of the 7-night experience. You have your arrival, you are picked up day one. I mean, this is just a screenshot, but when you click on the drop down, it basically will give you a detail of every experience. Ella, for example, you can just drop maybe a link to one of these Detty December experience, or this particular one. And people can always click and check at the other time. So we basically break it down. So you can see your day 2. We have time, of course, for you to have your food and all of that. You are picked with your guide, with your someone is always present with you all through. You have an arts and nature day. So you go to the art market. You go for one of the biggest, actually the biggest art gallery in Africa. You have a full day experience of that. Day 3, you go on a food tour. So this is you enjoying Lagos or Accra, for if that as the case may be, or if it's Calabar or whatever city, you get immersed in the local food. And also, we also do at least one high-end experience for you. Then, like you can see, day 4, for example, is Badagry's heritage. Badagry in Lagos, Nigeria, is where you have the first story building that was built in Nigeria, was built in Badagry. You have a lot of firsts in Badagry, and it's also a location where you see the point of no return. You see where our forebears, our ancestors were taken out, the last spot where slaves were taken out from. And of course, we have our day 5, for example, here, which really so that you have a free day to do whatever it is. So, for example, you've been around, you've been enjoying Nigeria or Ghana, as the case may be, as a local, or even if you decide to go to South Africa or wherever, that's fine. You could have met 1 or 2 people. Maybe there are sports you want to experience. You saw a club you want to go check out, or you saw a mall you want to go check out, or things like that. And we also ensure that you can engage with like things like fashion. You want to get local local fashion, because Nigerians are very fashionable also. So even Ghana and all of that. So you can have that experience. So day 6, for example, here on the screen just gives a bit of a breakdown of how it looks like. Okay. So day 6, like experience, we go on a museum tour. So we visit about 3 to 4 different museums, and it's exciting. So basically, this is how each schedule of what it is that we do, and all of this, like I said, this includes your visa, your tours, the tour guide, your transportation. You can imagine everything fits for you. You do not need to go out of here to bother yourself about that. Now, so in curating the perfect experience, you of course things that you'll be bothered about are flights, for example, access to the country. I'm talking about visas now, immigration, meeting immigration needs, accommodation, your transportation, your budget, of course, what you get to experience, the places you get to go. Because I mean, if you're not from a particular location, you feel like if I'm spending 7 days, how can I get the best of the best of the best of Lagos? Or how can I get the best of the best of the best of Accra or whatever, or Calabar, or maybe a combo of both? So we have everything all laid out. So depending on the kind of experience you want, we ensure that you can go through all of this step by step. We lead you through every one of that. So mostly on our platforms, on our prepackaged deals on our platform, you do not really have flights because we believe that people could be coming from. Because, for example, just to go back one step, this package, for example, you can see it costs 1,899. It doesn't include flights because you could be coming from Brussels, you could be coming from maybe your family is spread all around the world. You are some are in the US, some are in Canada, some are in Europe, some and whatever. You could all still book this same exact package. Just get this link. Everyone books the package, but they end up booking their flights. If you need help with flights, you can always make those requests. But most of our packages come in this 360-degree format without flights, just to make that clear. But of course, we can help with that depending on the kind of accommodation you want, hotels, or you want like Airbnbs or shortlets. We'll get all of that sorted for you. Of course, considering security, ensuring that all the amenities you need, power, internet, and all of that is sorted. Drivers, every one of your experiences, you are picked, you're taken, and you are brought back. Also, if you want maybe help with some other extra things, some people might want some extra experiences outside. Maybe they read about a particular building or a particular event that is not in the itinerary or something different, and they want to have that, we can do all of that. Also, if you decide that, you know what, I love this your 7-day package, but I would love a 10-day package, but the budget, I wouldn't want the budget to increase. How can you work that out for me? We can also ensure that you can do that. We also advise around the best experiences to have. If, for example, you are like, I've heard so much about the parties, but I've also heard that Nigeria is a tech, they have a whole lot into tech. Or you're going to Ghana, you say you heard so much about farming in Ghana, you're really interested in investing in agriculture. Or you hear that there's a lot of people that have relocated back from America to Ghana, for example, are buying property, are buying land, and all of that, and you're interested in stuff like that. We can customize events, customize themes, customize interests, and things like that. So maybe you're a big influencer and you're big on fashion in New York or in California or whatever, and you're like, you know what, I would love to connect with the amazing content creators that are, or influencers that are in the same industry. So things like that we always advise around. Now, because we have, like we said, you are always connected to local experience provider, so you have local guides on the ground that help you. So things that you do not need to do, for example, you might not know the culture. One of the beautiful things I have to say first off is that people are very open. Africans are some of the most welcoming people. As a matter of fact, they can be fighting their brother, but they welcome you if you're a visitor. So of course, but there are still, even at that, there are still some etiquettes you want to respect. Some cultures you want to respect. You are very respectful to older people. You might easily call people by their names, but we don't call elders directly by their names, for example. And then some things you want, if you want to change, you want to go out at certain times of the night, maybe it's not part of our itinerary, we always are there to advise, to maybe even be in contact with you as you book things like trips, like cars, Ubers, and things like that. So, I mean, not too heavy on all of those, but we are very, very flexible with even dealing with contingency plans. Now, of course, why use Travelbay? A number of things I've mentioned. First, your convenience. What we have built as Travelbay is I would say the entire travel stack for anyone that wants to book their trip, travel agencies that want to help their customers, their clients anywhere in the world visit Africa, or even companies that are looking to go book group trips for their staff, or company retreats offsites or things like that. Or maybe you are the one helping to book for your family, as the case may be. Travelbay is that end-to-end solution where you of course, if you're going to Africa for the first time, for example, you're wondering what country, Travelbay fixes that because we can help you with information, advice, tools, and resources for that. You are wondering, okay, my passport, maybe I live in America, but I hold a South African passport. I live in America, I hold a Syrian passport, or I live in America, but I hold this particular passport. And how do I get my visa? What are the visa rules and requirements? You don't need to go outside of Travelbay. We get that sorted out for you. Also, you're like, okay, I'm going to Lagos, or I'm going to Accra, or I'm going to Cairo, or I'm going to Addis Ababa. What are the best experiences? What are the most, at least for someone that's coming here for the first time, what's the best experiences I need to have? You can get that. You don't need to go outside of Travelbay. Okay, can I stay such that it's safe, it's convenient for me to access a whole lot of locations, but at the same time, I don't want to feel excluded from the city. I want to have like a real city experience. I want to live in Lagos like a local, even though I'm visiting. I want to live in Calabar like a local. I want to live in Kumasi or Cape Coast or Accra as a local and all of that. You do not need to go outside of Travelbay. So I've built an end-to-end solution such that on our platform, you get the advice, you get the support and all of that. And also in addition to that, you can also get paid doing this. So you're doing this for yourself, but then let's say time to time you have friends and you're like, you possibly have maybe a friend travel group, or maybe your family, and you are the one always being saddled with putting these trips together. We know how even just any kind of trip, there's a lot of headache around it. But for us, well, like for Africa, we've put all of this together in more than 20 countries right now. We can do this. We've done all of the heavy lifting. So all you need to do is get on Travelbay, and you're able to curate and design what you want. And once you do that, you can just send the links to your family, to your friends, to your associates, to all your family, your friend group going on a particular trip, and then they can pay either immediately or instrumentally. There are secure payment options for you. Also, I'll end with saying that being on this particular webinar, we have a discount for just a couple of people, I guess about 10 people. All you need to do to get that discount is $100 off any Detty December package. So if, for example, you're here and you're interested in that, you just need to click on that and you get $100 off. So for example, our package that was going for $18.99, you get at $17.99. I can bet you you are not going to get anything close to that anywhere else, because we're looking to solve not just for individuals, but mostly for groups, for travel agencies, and then they are able to factor in their margins then and end fantastic. So if you also would love to help others book, you want to do this as a business, maybe as a side business, or maybe currently you are a travel agency or you're a travel agent, or maybe your company, they always travel and you feel like this is something that you want to do to help, you can always just book you can have a meeting. We can do a one-on-one and just show you what you need to do, because on our platform, you can customize your page. So if you have friends that are traveling, for example, you don't need to chase after them. Once you send their link within your own account right now, you're able to track those that are paid, those that are going for the trip. You're able to manage that entire inventory and all of that. So what Travelbay has built is really beautiful, 100% focused on the continent, 100% focused on doing all of the heavy lifting, so that all you do is we simply build a highway for you to visit Africa. Thank you very, very much. I didn't write down in case I miss anything or you want clarification on anything. This would be a good time to ask. You can just put your hand up if you have any questions to ask. But yeah, that's it about visiting for Detty December. We can't wait to have you. We can't wait to have you and your friend group and have you be a part of the biggest party in the world every December. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate the round of applause. So if we have questions, anyone has questions on this, please, you can just put your hands, or maybe you can drop, I think you can drop questions in the comment section also. Yeah, but then just note that all of the various packages, the various packages are here. I see they've posted them. They also have a link where you can just get any Detty December. However, we have right now on our platform, we have 4 pre-packaged Detty December trips. We have Detty December in Nigeria, that's just Lagos and around Lagos. We have Detty December in Nigeria, that's Lagos and Calabar. So you are visiting two massive cities within one trip. Then we have Detty December in Ghana. You're actually visiting two cities also with that. And then we have Detty December in Nigeria and Ghana. So you're doing about some days in Nigeria and then you fly out to Ghana. So for example, you fly into Ghana, you do Ghana, fly to Nigeria, and then you fly out of Nigeria back to your destination. So, I mean, they're very lovely itineraries we put together for this. And even like I mentioned, or in case I didn't mention it, you can also customize these itineraries to fit what it is that you want. What do I mean by that? You have you want to spend more time. So, for example, some people have family connected to the continent, and of course, you're coming all the way, so you want to connect with your family. We had a situation last year where someone came, and I guess because she just only booked the time, the 7-day trip or 8-day trip that we had last year, she had her family come to the airport. They had to come there physically to meet her, and it was like they followed her to the hotel and all of that. Of course, I'm sure she was happy to see them, but it also affected a bit of the logistics because we had to be waiting for her to catch up with them, to get into the car. And then, of course, security is telling you, oh, you can't park here at the airport and things like that. So we understand that people might want to connect. They've not come to Nigeria maybe for a long time. They've not come to Ghana for a long time. One of the things that we've seen that can be done is you could book, let's say, we have our 7-day trip, but you could extend your stay by, let's say, another 5 days so that you have time to go be with your family. Once you're done with them, you come and join our trip, or you're done with our trip and then you can go be with family. So we're very flexible with all of that. So you are able to customize the trip to meet what you want, your number of people, your number of families, the size of your family, the age group, and all of that. Discounts you can also get from those. You can also customize to fit your budget. So if, for example, you say, oh, you might love this, but my budget is, I just have $1,600. How can we work that out? Yeah, we'll be able to customize to meet that also. Of course, it will affect some of the experiences, but yeah, you also get a phenomenal customization done for you. So I don't have any questions. So it's either I did a very great job or I did a very poor job. So I hope that I did a very great job of helping us know about Detty December. Your next steps is, hey, reach us to book your Detty December trips. Right now we have a lot of links in the group. Okay, Francis said I did a great job. Thank you. That's very relieving because if I remember, Francis put up his hand that he has never been to Detty December. So if you say I did a great job, I think I can go to sleep smiling tonight. Yeah, and then booking link, all the booking links are there for our next steps. If you want a personalized planning help and all of that, please. We also have our Calendly. I'll have Ella share our Calendly in the call. You can set up a meeting. Either you want a personalized planning help for you, maybe for your group, maybe you are a travel agency and you're wondering, okay, how can I do this? How do I go about designing my own page? Because you can do that. It's your page. We're just on the back end helping you to facilitate all of the heavy lifting. We can do that. So just go on. Do I have my Calendly up? You can just set up Calendly, and I will be glad to personally walk you through all of the steps. So of doing that. So Ella, please share my Calendly. Okay, you have it shared already. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think I see that in the group. So please book a time, and I will be glad to help at least the first 10 people to just help them walk through that whole process and get their feedback and support you to make that happen. So thank you very much, everybody. I'm happy we done this within 30 minutes. I don't want to take too long, but yeah. Oh, great. Thank you for this amazing feedback. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hear from you. Thank you, everybody, and yeah, bye.